Terry, great investor talk this morning. Everyone's talking about Nisk and what the work you've been doing this summer. Can you give us an update?
Yeah, I think the big thing this summer was, I guess, 2 points. One, a massive research project which sort of identified for us, that this was probably going to become a district play, and we needed more land. So we went out and made the deal with Lyft and acquired, all that land, almost 3.5 times our land package. So that was our biggest move. And then obviously we've taken that research and put it into motion by drilling, and we've got about by mid-September, we'll have drilled about 22,000 meters or so. So now those results are starting to come to the market. Honestly, I thought we'd be out with some by now, but there was some delay in the assay labs. But it looks like next week we'll start to get the assays out, and we'll again start to show the line is growing. And so we're really bullish about what we've got to come, in terms of assays, and they'll be after that every 3 or 4 weeks for pretty much the next 18 months as we fulfill our 100,000 meter drilling program that we've outlined over the next 2 years.
You've been exceptionally busy this summer. There's been a great deal of news. You also just appointed Seamus O'Regan to the board. Can you tell us a little bit more about this appointment?
Yeah, we're very excited about having Seamus to the board. He's a very capable, business and political leader, of course. Obviously with multiple ministries in his resume. Notably for us, his energy and natural resource minister appointment, his time at Indigenous Affairs. So he very much understands a lot of the core issues that we face as a mining company. And what's critical for us is he understands how government looks at these issues, and he understands who to talk to in government when we're trying to get either moving our ball forward, in terms of development permits or Indigenous partnerships or these sorts of things. So he'll be super valuable to us in terms of guiding us in this respect and giving us perspective. So, and he's also East Coaster and a St. FX grad. So we've known each other for years, and I'm sure he'll be a great fit for the board, and we're really looking forward to working with him.
And of course, there's been a great deal of news attention to the mining and exploration industry this summer. And you have what is deemed to be Canada's next polymetallic mine. Can you tell our investors out there that may be new to the mining industry what that means?
So polymetallic just means multiple minerals. So the discovery we made initially was we used to be called Power Nickel. It was an initial nickel sulfide mine. And looking for more nickel sulfide, we stepped out and we hit this massive zone, the Lion Zone, and it's very copper, platinum, palladium, gold, silver rich. In fact, it's about 45% copper, about 55% precious metals. So all of a sudden it blew up. This rock is worth, in theory, in the ground, in the mineralized areas, $500 to $1,000 a ton. Okay, the nickel project more like 200 to 250. So obviously you put your resources where the more money is. So we've been obviously massively exploring the Lion Zone, and that's what transformed us, I guess, in the last 18 months. It made us like the top performing mining stock in 2024 on the TSXV. And now we raised $50 million in February, and we've been blessed by having pretty much the top mining investors in the planet invest with us. Like, so Robert Friedland's been there leading the last 2 deals, Rob McEwen the last 3 deals, Gina Reinhardt. We've got 15 billionaires in the deal. We've been super fortunate, and that's in this very tough mining finance market. We didn't have the support of those key individuals who can actually write big checks, without worrying about, hey, I'm going to trade you out for the half warrant. We never did that, so this has been able to give us the strength to go at this exploration process in the right way and build what could be, I think, the next giant discovery in Canada.
Well, of course, not only are you receiving a great deal of attention from the Canadian government, but you recently announced a new license in Saudi Arabia. And we had an interesting conversation during the investor talk about this. Can you provide more information, please?
Yes. I mean, obviously, 95% of our focus is on Nisk, and all the engines are moving and flowing there. But in mining, you're always looking at, what's going to be your next big thing. And sometimes it takes years. Like we started on Nisk like 4 years ago, and now it's like finally it's sort of at full momentum. So we got approached at Beaver Creek 2 years ago by the representatives of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia about looking at the exploration package in Saudi. And any top tier geologist will tell you that exploration package is world class. It's like literally the last, great untapped area on Earth that hasn't been really fully explored, and almost very limited exposure at all. And so that was exciting from a geological perspective. Some people have said it's like the Abitibi in the 1940s with modern technology. So think of that. That's a pretty powerful concept. Pretty exciting to any miner, I would say. So that was good. A year later, it goes on, and obviously our Lion discovery hole becomes the Lion zone in that year, and all of a sudden, lots of fireworks and obviously lots of success. And that made them, when we met them at Beaver Creek for the second time, they said, "Hey, look, this is exactly we want, explorers to come down here and make discoveries, and you clearly know what you're doing exploration wise. You got to do it." And so there was a round open at the time with 6 blocks, and the way their process works is very transparent. It's probably the best process we've come across globally on how to acquire mineral ground. So I give them full credit to the KSA for designing that property and executing it. So we looked at the 6 projects and we bid on one, and it was a technical bid. So it's basically about what you're going to do to explore it, and we were lucky enough to win it. They awarded it to us, and so we're and the other thing they said, which was really enticing to us at the time, they said, "Look, if you come down and you win the award, in order to expedite you in the kingdom and to move it quicker, we'll introduce you to the top 5 family offices in the kingdom, and we want you to joint venture with one of them and teach them how to invest in mining and by exploring here." So the smallest guy we met through that process was 50 billion, the biggest 110 billion. How else is a small Canadian junior going to meet these types of folks? It's just not going to happen. So we thought, wow, while we don't want to lose focus on Nisk, this is another giant Nisk-like opportunity. It's going to take some time to get it rolling, and we thought we had the business development bandwidth to sort of add to it and start the ball rolling, and so that's what we did. And so we're finishing off Polymetallic Arabia. My son Connor, who's running that, is heading down there next week to finalize the last pieces of it. And we're advancing our conversations with the family offices, and it's going very well. I'm super excited about the kingdom, and believe it will be home to a bunch of really big discoveries, and we hope to make some ourselves.
Polymetallic, of course, has been achieving goals in a very methodical way. Your news releases are very technical, though, Terry. Can you give some of the new investors out there a little bit more of an understanding about the Nisk deposit, where it's located? Because you've also increased that project over the last year.
Yeah, so basically, what happened? Just a quick history lesson. We had acquired from Critical Elements 80% of our original land package, and it contained 3.1 million tons of a nickel sulfide deposit. So about 1.5% nickel EQ. So about 1% nickel, 0.55% copper, about 0.0708 cobalt, and about a gram of PGEs, platinum palladium group elements. So that was fine, and we were expanding that. We're growing that quite nicely. It had grown it from 3 to, if you posted a 43-101 of over 7, we're probably around 8.5 or so now million tons in the ground. And looking for more nickel, we had a funny. And this happens in mining many times. Luck. You got to get lucky, Tracy. You and you have to have, like, God's grace was on us, really. So what happened was, we in our winter program of 2 years ago, we basically, I guess it was actually 3 years ago, we had 200 meters left. At that time, we were funding it with, I would put up $500,000 from the Lynch family. My friends and peers would put up $500,000, and we used the 2-for-1s in Quebec through the flow-through structures to get $2 million working. And we were bootstrapping our way forward, $2 million at a time, just like every other struggling junior miner. So what happened, we drilled our budget. We had about 200 meters left, and the average hole at Nisk was around 400 meters. And they said, Terry, do you want to put some more money in, drill one more hole? I'm saying, well, I'm happy to put more money in, but I don't want to put money in $1 in directly from Terry because I'm not getting 4. I want to put $1 in and get 4 because that'll help us de-risk the thing and move forward. So I said, what do we have for 200 meters that would be productive? And they said, well, we've got this area in the northeast corner that we think is another nickel deposit like this, and they often come in like pearls. They call them a string of pearls. They said it's got the same thing, ultramafic at surface, EM anomaly. Let's drill it. I'm thinking, great, let's do it. We drilled it, and then we hit the line zone. So it's like, and then we drilled subsequently the next winter when we finally get in there. The next 16 holes, 15 of the 16 hit, and it blew up. We were getting 32 meters of 7% copper equivalent, 40 meters of 6%. These types of numbers which are unheard of. And all of a sudden, we realized we didn't have a nickel sulfide project. We had an orthomagmatic nickel sulfide copper PGE, and that there's only like 20 of them in the history of the world. So we hit the jackpot, and they're the world's most profitable mines. So now, obviously, we guys still have to ramp it up. We still have a lot of exploration to do, and that made us rethink, our understanding of the geology of the region. And that's what led us to make that deal with Lyft to basically acquire a lot more land, because we think this is going to be a district. So Sudbury's got 33 mines. I'm not saying there's going to be 33 mines up here, but I bet you there'll be several. And we think, Lion will be one. We think Nisk will be another. We think there's, in our list, we had like 8 high priority targets. We now own 7 of them. So we're pretty stoked about what we've done this summer in terms of laying the groundwork for the really big growth that's to come. And obviously, we're advancing forward with the drill bit, and we'll start to get the assay news out next week, and think we're going to have a super exciting fall.
Well, thank you so much, Terry, for the exceptional update on Polymetallic. And for those of you interested in finding out more, please go to the following website. Thank you, Terry.
Cheers.